to remember. They didn't say every 9 days. This day to remember. Each year, from generation to generation, you must celebrate it as a special festival to the Lord. This is a law for all time. Not sometime, not every now and then, all time. For 7 days, the bread you eat must be made without yeast. On the first day of the festival, remove every trace of yeast from your homes. And this is when we talked about a little bit about the spring cleaning. Anyone who eats bread made with yeast during the 7 days of the festival will be cut off from the community of Israel. On the first day of the festival and again on the 7th day, all the people must observe an official day for the Holy Assembly. No work of any kind may be done on those days except in the preparation of the food. Celebrate this festival of unleavened bread, for it will remind you that I brought your forces out of the land of Egypt in this very day. The festival will be permanent law for you. Celebrate this day for generation to generation. Notice that it said it more than once. More than once it told you. The bread you must eat, made without yeast, from the evening of the 14th day of the first month until the evening of the 12th first day of that month. During those 7 days, there must be no trace of the yeast in your homes. Anyone who eats anything made with yeast during this week will be cut off. And again, he's letting you know, he's reminding you again. So it's not like it's not here for our teaching so that we know what to do. It's right here in front of us so we are aware of what we need to do. Okay, now let's go to Leviticus. Leviticus 23:5-8. Here's some more information for us. The Lord Passover began at sundown on the 14th day of the first month. On the next day, the 15th day of the month, you must begin celebrating the festival of unleavened bread. The festival to the Lord continues for seven days, and during that time, the bread you eat must be made without yeast. And I'm going to go here with my closing, mainly because of the fact that this one was very touching to me because I didn't know this as well. Let's go to Deuteronomy 16. And it says, in honor of the Lord your God, that's Deuteronomy 16, in honor of the Lord your God, celebrate the Passover each year in the early spring in the month of April. For that was the month in which the Lord your God brought you out of Egypt, that night by night. For your Passover sacrifice may be from either the flock or the herd, and it must be sacrificed in the Lord your God at the designated place of worship, the place he chooses for his name to be honored. Eat it with bread made without yeast for 7 days, and the bread you eat must be made without yeast. But I thought that was the one that I wanted to go to, so I had some juice left for you. Switch on over there to Exodus 13:8. Y'all have a chance, go to, y'all have to go there now, go to Exodus 12 and 24, but I'm going to read you 13 and 8. And it says, on the seventh day, you must explain to your children, I am celebrating what the Lord did for me when I left Egypt. This annual festival, and it says annual festival, will be a visible sign to you, like a mark branded on the head of your forehead. Let it remind you always, not sometimes, always to recite this teaching of the Lord. With a strong hand, the Lord rescued you from Egypt. So observe the decree of this festival and the appointed time and years. So again, it's giving us all the information that we need in order to get it right. It's allowing us time to do what? To clean it up. To get it right. It teaches us how to clean it up, and it also teaches us when to clean it up. So we know when to clean it up, we know how to clean it up, and we also know how to keep it clean. So this is just awesome. And so I wanted to close with that. But whenever you have an opportunity, study it and find it. There is so much more, and I only captured some of the scriptures based off of it, but there is so much more related to unleavened bread that will help our souls so deeply that I didn't know about. So I didn't prepare as much as I should have for this feast. Novisia gave us forewarning, not just this time, but the time before that time. So I didn't go into that study then to know how to make sure I followed what the Bible says this time. I was lackadaisical, and Lord, please forgive me. Otherwise, I would have been much more prepared as well. So now, I feel that I'm preparing myself to make sure I follow and continue to follow God's commandments of the feast that are to be honored and commended by God every year.